There we go. Matter of fact, I think it's better if I just. There we go. Much, much better. Hello. Hi. How's y'all doing?
Alrighty, let's see how it sounds.
Hello. Oh, done forgot. Let me pull up the chat.
Oh yeah, we have hosts.
Yeah.
Set up, set up. You look good on camera. I always look good on camera. Oh, me just being dramatic.
All right. I got the YouTube
All right,
YouTube chat up and running.
I got Twitch.
All right. So let's Twitch and YouTube.
Biet.
Okay. All right. Now we can actually begin. Good evening, everybody. What is going on? Episode 130 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. I'm your host, Silverback Senpai, and across the table from me is none other than the co-host, Waluigi.
Good evening, good afternoon, good day, whatever time it is. Glad to be back. This is like the first Thursday in a hot minute.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks.
2.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was out of the country that brief period.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and then last week I did Thursday about myself solo.
Yeah,
So,
time's
2
going
weeks.
by fast. Wow.
So just us two today. As you already know, every Thursdays, myself and Waluigi we would do a, just talk about gaming news and whatnot. Very rarely we'll have someone on a Thursday like we had Chris Valdi a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to him. Like those exceptions we will make for for those who can't make it
Yeah.
on a Sunday, but if they're able to make it on a Thursday evening around the time that we usually begin the episode, then by all means, hey, we'll do it on a Thursday night
Hell yeah.
if it warrants it for it. But other than that, big thank you to everyone. Continue to following and continue to stay
Yeah.
subscribed here on YouTube and of course on all the other social media platforms. Greatly appreciate y'all.
you.
And of course, as y'all already know, if you don't know, we also have the podcast available on most audio hosting platforms. So all you have to do is just Google South Florida Gamers Podcast, and you guys will see us there. And then you already know, video playback is available on
Yeah.
YouTube, Twitch, but I would say primarily YouTube. So that's going to be our main platform for all of the podcast content, and then of course, shorts, reels, things like that on all the other social medias. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with our gaming news, and that is coming from Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh wow.
Director says it could never have been made at a AAA studio. So, a lot of news came out with this game. Oh crap, I don't even have your camera.
Damn. I'm too ugly.
Hold
My heart.
on. There we go.
Okay, now I'm less ugly anyways.
There you go. So, yeah, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has been, trending, for the past couple of weeks, and everyone's saying a lot of good things about it. A lot of high praises about the game.
The lore too.
Absolutely. And for a turn-based RPG, it's seemingly getting more people interested into the genre because prior to that with other JRPG games, I mean, this is not a JRPG game. It's an actual
Role playing game. Like an RPG.
No, it's a Western RPG game.
Oh yeah.
So, you're not going to find like Japanese elements
Oh
or
no.
culture, things like that within this game, but of course,
It's straight up French.
yeah, but of course the elements are there if you are into RPGs, and this has definitely piqued people's interest in wanting to play RPG games because I would say prior to this game coming out, a lot of people, when it comes to like RPGs or turn-based RPGs, I think a lot of people are turned off on turn-based RPGs. They're turned off of turn-based RPGs if it's like anime styled. So you have like your Persona series, and you have your
Final Fantasy, like
Final
the
Fantasy.
older ones.
Yeah, the older ones. So they don't like the Japanese style JRPGs. They're not a fan of that because they don't like the cartoon anime
I think it's the
style.
flashiness.
Yeah, of those RPGs and whatnot. So they want something a little realistic looking, and I think that's where Clair Obscur Expedition 33 comes in, to where it fills that void. But I also would encourage those people to try out these other JRPGs. Try them out.
Yeah.
These turn-based RPGs, because they're actually pretty good. They actually have a solid story. I understand some people don't want to play as a young teenager or as a young kid. They want to play as an adult. And I 100% respect that. I do.
Yeah.
Because when you look at most traditional anime of today, it's always centered around some teenager,
some high schooler, middle school drama.
yeah, and it's never you very rare you'll find those anime gems that are centered around adults.
No, you don't.
And those typically, and the ones that are typically centered around adults, I would say some of them are mid at best. You really can't relate, but then very rare you find those gems that just it clicks to you.
You know what's also an iconic like RPG that was like known? Amori.
Amori?
And it's basically teenagers. Like, it's still, no matter what, you're still going to be in that endless cycle of like younger children going through adult, like the Goonies type of style.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but that's what it feels like. You're just like, oh yeah, these teenagers solving adult problems with unrealistic standards.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a role-playing game where it's like a dark fantasy and everything else. But Clair Obscur seems to have like upped it up a notch.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is coming from a studio that isn't a AAA studio, that is only composed of 33 people that made this amazing game.
Yeah.
That is getting a lot of high praise, that actually sold over 1 million copies within less than a week. It is definitely putting some big AAA games to shame. It
looks like one. That's the funny part.
It's putting these corporations that have like thousands of employees that are working on a game, and they released the game. It's a big budget game. They released the game. The game flopped because it doesn't appeal to the majority demographic of gamers.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, you have this gem that comes out and it just blows up in success. And it just makes you wonder, like, what are you big corporate? You guys are doing something wrong. You guys are not listening to the gamers.
And we've talked about this multiple episodes where it looks like everyone's autopiloting to money, DLC, remakes, creations.
Yeah, just trying to monetize and nickel and dime gamers for every little penny that they can get out of us, instead of giving us a game that's going to give us a really good experience that that we can enjoy, that has replay value. And if they were to release a sequel, then we would be, very anticipated on, we're going to buy this sequel because I enjoyed the first part of the game. So I am definitely can't wait to play the next version of this game and see what has improved and where does the story goes, the character development, things like that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the guy who directed it was from Ubisoft.
Yeah. A lot of these people are from Ubisoft.
That. Like, let's take a moment to process that. Someone from Ubisoft just said, "Hey, I'm bored. Let me do something on my own." And it ends up happening. Instead of just leaving a company, giving up on a dream, he made his own dream happen. And it's a reality for a lot of gamers that anyone can cook and possess a game that people can like.
Yeah, and this is definitely, which I wanted to show, this is from a tweet from Dexterdo. Clair Obscur Expedition 33's director revealed he made the game because he was bored at Ubisoft. Most of the core dev team were juniors who had almost no experience in making video games. This is via BBC.
Oh, that's funny.
So let me click on this article and just give it a read.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a read if it loads. There we go.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33's origin story is even more insane than you think. Expedition 33 director Guillaume Broche revealed in an interview with the BBC that he decided to leave Ubisoft and create a Game of the Year contender purely because he was bored working at Ubisoft and wanted to try something new. Though Expedition 33 selling over 1 million copies after being made by a core team of around 30 people is enough of a story to make its dev cycle stand out from a standard AAA game development. Tales of the game's origins make that story even harder to believe. Game director Guillaume and writer Jennifer Swedberg Yen both spoke with the BBC about the topic, revealing that the process of getting the team together was even more unlikely than the people initially realized. Before they secured funding for the project, Broche secured the dev talent and making a pitch deck by putting out posts on Reddit and putting a team together through online forums.
Damn.
Expedition 33's origin is a series of miracles. Swedberg Yen had never even voice acted in a game before. She just thought it sounded like a fun idea and decided to submit a voice demo and throw her hat in the ring. I was like, I've never done it before. It sounded kind of cool. So I sent them an audition, she explained. One thing led to another, and she ended up becoming the lead writer of a story that is, in large part, praised because of how strong its core narrative is.
Holy.
Lorian Testard, the Expedition 33's composer, got recruited by Broche thanks to interactions in SoundCloud comments. The director attributed his unnatural penchant for recruitment to mass luck paired with people being in lockdown at the time and wanting some new creative outlets.
That is just sheer insanity.
And this is the team.
Yeah. Using Reddit to bring people is insane.
Oh, yeah. As toxic that platform is,
Yes.
you found some hidden gems.
Hey, it's not a 4chan. It's a little bit better.
Regardless of many people working on the title either had no experience working in game development at all or had very little, the team was made almost solely of junior members. We have, I think, an amazing team mostly of junior people, but they are so incredibly invested in the project and talented, said director Guillaume. Somehow it worked, which still makes no sense to me after all these years. When Guillaume Broche founded Sandfall and made a site, he started with a simple blog post. Well, we don't have much to share now, other than what we shared on the main page. It's the very beginning, you know. But rest assured, this blog will be oh so amazing soon. Stay tuned. Almost 5 years later, turns out he was right. While Clair Obscur Expedition 33 would have been a massive feat regardless how big the development team was, the accomplishments of the team are made even more impressive considering the unlikely origins of what may become 2025's Game of the Year.
Oh, I'm voting for this if it becomes that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely am because I also have the game as well, and I'm definitely gonna be playing it this weekend.
I'm gonna see if I can get some money to play through it, but it looks so much fun.
Oh yeah, it's granted it's a turn-based RPG, and I've played turn-based RPGs.
But the fact it has parry and dodge mechanics is
Yeah.
even funnier.
Yeah, that is completely new.
You can show off your Elden Ring skills right there. I'm teasing.
I mean, that I would have to see because I've seen very little gameplay of it because I'm trying not to spoil myself.
I've been briefly spoiled, but not truly enough.
Yeah, I've seen
like
very small bits and pieces of it. I was like,
I've seen.
I want to see more, but I'm gonna wait until I actually finally have the game, which I finally get the game. And let me tell you all a story. I finally get the game. Sometime this week, I would say on Tuesday, I got the game. Granted, I pre-ordered the game off of Amazon before the game released back in late April. So I pre-ordered the game thinking that, okay, if I pre-order it, I should get the game either by the next day or the day after. I finally got the game this week. So lesson learned, I'm not pre-ordering off of Amazon anymore. I'd rather just go through GameStop.
Damn.
I'd rather just...
That's bold.
Yeah, I'd rather just go through, because at least I know with GameStop, when I go there, I showed all right, here's the pre-order on my phone. I get my game, and I'm out. Like, easy, simple. I went the lazy way of just pre-ordering through Amazon, and it took so long for it to get here while so many other people are playing it. Now, during that time, I was playing a lot of Monster Hunter World Wilds, which I progressed very far in. So, at least there's a positive in that. But still, I still wanted to play the game when it came out, and I had to wait. So at least this weekend, I'll be able to finally get a chance to play it and just, see how I like it.
We need to be more like a book club for gamers, just like reviewing half the stuff. I'm gonna have to buy it soon when I get paid.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
And then, of course, you also have Doom: The Dark Ages releasing later this month. You also have Elden Ring Night Rain releasing towards the end of this month. So I know.
Fudge.
And then, of course, we have Otaku Fest and CEO like coming right up.
Please kill me now.
I know. It's gonna be rough for our pockets.
I know. We gotta focus on the tournaments and all this stuff first, and then afterwards. But pretty much a Clair Obscur, I think it definitely has potential for being Game of the Year.
Oh, it definitely does.
I definitely do agree with this. I'm looking forward to actually doing a playthrough of it.
I do want to talk about this part right here, where in this article,
Go on.
where it said that the director said it could have never been made at a AAA studio.
I agree with this.
So, in the May 1st interview, Broach said, for this kind of project with a new IP, an original story, original characters, it's very hard to propose in a bigger company. In those bigger structures, you generally need to prove yourself first and to be well placed to have any hope of pitching this kind of project, he continued. Broach worked at Ubisoft before departing the company to found Sandfall, a position that he previously told BBC he had grown bored with. Broach recruited what will become Expedition 33's 30-member development team from disparate locations. The JRPG-inspired title composer, Lorian Testard, was recruited after an exchange through streaming service SoundCloud, for example.
That's real.
This is the kind of project that, if doable, would have taken 25 years before realized, and I don't have enough patience for that, Bro said of his decision to move away from AAA game development. To create a game infused with passion, we need that bunch of friends making a game kind of atmosphere. Having that flexibility and agility is kind of exclusive to indie studios, he continued. I agree. Because when we look at these big AAA games, we're gamers are now starting to see there's not a lot of passion going into these games. It's more monetization.
Yeah, there's no thought behind it, no process or emotion saying what will the people think. It's more like what will our wallets turn out to be.
Yeah, like what's going like we spent this amount of money developing this game, marketing this game. Now, how much money that we can hope to get back from the gamers if we just give them bits and pieces of what they would like. And when you finally get your hands on a game, you play it, after a while you kind of get bored with it and you lose passion with the game to the point where it's like you're not even invested in playing the game any further, so you just completely lose interest. It happens a lot.
Oh, heavens, yes. You know what it reminds me of? So the guy got bored at Ubisoft, right? It reminds me of like how people in Bethesda left to make the Outer Worlds is what it's called.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that similar like parallel. It's like they took action instead of being in the same company stuck settling for less. They moved on to doing art themselves because art is openly expressive and you have rights to make what you want. So I definitely do agree. It wouldn't be a AAA game because most corporate people would be like, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, because they don't want to take the risk of a game, of a new IP, a new game, putting a lot of money into it, and you release it to the public, and then it flops.
They really made their own
and then afterwards, you're gonna have to release people. You're gonna have to lay people off,
which is what we've been seeing for the past year.
Yeah. So with indie games or double A and indie games, what we're now starting to see is more passion in these games. All we have to do as gamers is just pay attention to these games, which is why I've said in previous episodes, if you have a PS5 or even a PS4, I highly recommend checking out the demo section in the PlayStation Store because usually, I would say every week, there's probably some new demos for you to play that you probably would never thought of, and you'd be like, I don't know if I want to try this game, or
take the risk.
Or take the risk, because if there's a demo there,
what's the worst thing that you're gonna lose?
Exactly,
time and some space.
Yeah, you're gonna use up console space, and of course your time would be wasted, but at least you're not gonna lose your money. At least you're not having to drop $50, $60, $70 on a game. Try the demo out, see if you like it, see if you're interested in it.
And if not, just get rid of it.
Yeah, and exactly. You just, remove it. I'll be like, you know what? I tried it. Wasn't feeling for it. Moving on. It's the same thing I did when what FGC Gabe said in the channel. I'm like, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. When the beta came out, not once but twice, I tried it, and I was like, yeah, this game's not for me. Now
I played it here and then I bought it.
yeah, like I see why a lot of people say like this game really does not hold your hand.
Nope.
And it does not.
Oh no.
Like to be like if you really want to be good, you're gonna have to really grind the game, grind the matchups.
And the fact it's only like 5 buttons.
Yeah.
It's 5 buttons, but you got to do something about your actions.
Yeah.
Because you could get cheesed out, you could get chipped, you could get roll looped if you tried, and then you could deal with broken characters.
Yeah, so if you're tired of games like Street Fighter with the drive rush, as many people complain, or Tekken 8 with the heat system, as a lot of people have complained, or Guilty Gear Strive with their nonsense,
Wild Assault, Deflective Shield, or just broken characters.
Yeah, hey, play Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, because
everyone's learning right now.
Yeah, because I would definitely say that if you really want to learn a new fighting game that's not going to hold your hand, that's not going to baby you, definitely pick up Fatal Fury City.
Oh yeah, because SPG will only work while you're in that range.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. For those who don't know what SPG is, it's pretty much your drive impact or Street Fighter, and what acts as your ultimate move when you have 2 gears.
Yeah,
it's nuts. If you lose that, you're asked out.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yeah, but continuing on with Clair Obscur, as we said before, like. What we're now seeing with a lot of these indie games and AA games is a lot of passion within these genres, within just that field, because people are getting turned off by AAA gaming. We're not seeing a lot of passion there. It's a lot of greedy monetization practices that a lot of us are now slowly picking up and seeing, which many gamers and, of course, content creators have been warning gamers about this since the PS3, Xbox 360 days.
But we don't listen.
Yeah. We don't listen, so we end up paying for it. But as I said, I think I said this last podcast and a couple of podcasts ago that us gamers, we're gonna have to go through some hard times within the gaming industry until it circles back, and then it's just like, okay, I think they've learned their lesson. They're now starting to make games with a lot of passion and less monetization practices, and now we're getting good experiences.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. And the last bit of this for Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 continues to defy expectations with the latest sales and announcement.
With the latest sales announcements? Ooh.
So here's the tweet. In 12 days in, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has crossed 2 million copies sold.
2
million
We've
copies. Watched in awe as so many of you began your journey, feeling every step, every emotion, every revelation alongside you. To those just joining us, welcome. Tomorrow comes. 2 million copies sold. I mean, that's success right there.
Yeah.
I wish a certain company that released Assassin's Creed Shadows would just release how many copies your game sold instead of saying, oh, we've had this amount of players.
It's the best game of the year.
Yeah, we've had, so many players that just like...
Oh, it's a cope.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, just tell the people how much the game sold instead of saying how many players, because it could be... Because remember, you have like a lot of people who have played Assassin's Creed, so you could just be using those number metrics like that, and then adding it to Assassin's Creed Shadows just to make yourself look good. But people already see through the smoke, the smoke and mirrors. We see through it. Like, you don't have to say, oh, we have so many players playing our game. Like, no, tell us how much your game actually sold, because former developers from your company, Ubisoft, has made a game and it sold 2 million copies in less than 2 weeks.
And they announced it.
Exactly.
They called it out professionally in a way like, hey, thank you for buying your game. If you haven't, welcome. They're very welcoming and opening. They're not saying, buy our game now, get the deluxe version, and you get this skin that you can only use this event.
Yeah.
Or there's just a commercial when they pause the freaking game. Like, Clair Obscur, straight up. They're just straightforward with it. I'm giving a lot of respect. I now want to play this game more in spite of Ubisoft.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that just...
Most definitely. All right. Now our next topic.
As we talk about like what we're down to an indie game. Now we're going back up.
Yeah, we're going back up to a AAA game, but this is a very popular AAA game because out of nowhere this trailer done dropped, and you guys
Oh, they
already
had to
know,
plan something. They had to do something.
you guys already know where we're going with this. It's the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer.
Do 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 do. Da, da, da,
Now,
da.
of course, I'm gonna mute the sound or whatnot.
We don't want to get canceled again.
But I just want hold on. Let me just go back to this and just be like, bro,
You know you can change the playback speed slower, but
I want y'all to look at that.
yeah. So we are the South Florida Gamers podcast, and we're obviously witnessing what looks like Florida.
Yeah,
That's a
or a version of it.
that's funny.
And what amazes me with this game is the fact that this is off of a base PS5.
That's crazy.
This is off of a base PS5, people.
This is their subtle way of saying, "Hey, buy a pro later."
I mean, if you want that 25% extra power, go for it.
Oh yeah. Then you have like we saw the trailer already. I'm sure both of us.
Yeah, like this game broke records on YouTube.
That's all they needed to. They were gonna say it was going to be released this year, but we'll talk about that after the trailer. But like right now, you see the details, you see the people, you see how Florida looks. Like this is
Like right there, I'm just like, I know where this is at.
yes, and they market so well.
Like, bro, I know where this is at. It is like I know
we both know where
exactly.
it's at. We both.
I know exactly where this is at in Miami. Like, if you are a Miami native and you've traveled north and come back down south on I-95,
You're probably kicking your feet.
you're probably looking at us and be like, bro, I know exactly where this is at. I have traveled here before.
It's like this looks familiar.
Like, my goodness, this just looks incredible. And even the background,
Oh yeah, the palm trees.
Like, that is Ocean Drive right there.
Yeah.
That you see in the background.
I like how it looks like Muscle Beach. That's like the subtle detail. That's even though it's not really Florida, it's still like something unique they put.
Yeah.
Man, this looks like any bodega you go into.
Oh, let me go. I also like this, like the fact that you see
Oh,
a
yes.
lotto
Yeah.
guy right there in the
Like,
store
like-
playing lotto. You see the cat right there.
That's a bodega cat.
Yeah,
The
and then of
random-
course you also see the ATM machine.
Like that's normal.
Like the intent, like bro, I would stop, like rewatch the trailer again, and stop and just look at like some stuff like the attention to detail, and just be like, bro, I'm amazed at this. Right
Yeah.
there, that's in Little Haiti. I know where this is at.
yeah.
I know where this is at.
I've been there once, but wow. I didn't realize I was Little Haley. Little Haiti. Wow.
Yeah. And then in the background, you see the metro rail right there in the background.
Oh my god.
Like, bro, it's like
Licking.
I was geeking out when I saw this. I was like, hold on, let me rewind that back. I need to see this again. Because the attention to detail is like, oh, like, mwah, I love it. And then when I'm looking at the police car, I'm like,
Miami
I-
PD.
yeah, Miami PD, and there's like different color ones,
Yeah.
like for different regions in
Like-
Miami. And
Like
it's
usually
like,
it's a Dodge Charger and some parts. Wait, no.
well, not the jar. No, it's just like the color and
Oh
the
yeah,
design.
the color tone. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Not just like the vehicle, but just the color tone. Just like
Oh, now I understand what you mean.
I can recognize that so much.
Man, this looks like the Miami prison.
That I've never seen before.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry why I have. Like they put detail.
Base PS5 people, and the lighting is so good.
Oh my god, Twitter lost their mind when they saw this chick. And it's like they had to show intimacy.
Yes,
because it's Rockstar.
It was like, yes. Gooners, goon.
And then goons rob. And it's like, then you got the Modelos aside.
I want y'all to hold on. Let me go back. 786. Is that familiar?
786.
Yeah, that's the area code for South Florida.
Yeah.
Because you have 954, 786, 305.
Yeah, that's specifically Miami areas.
I was like, bro.
As we keep going, like these are details. Like you have people that come out of prisons just to do that stuff. Then you go to these like little sports bars. Then Miami with the stereotypical yacht parties.
The club, like people
Yeah.
were talking about the club because it's like it's reminiscent of the club that that's also down located in Miami.
Yeah. Because the majority of this map is Vice City as well.
Yeah.
So it's more like a fast forward.
On Metro Rail in the background. Like I recognize the background alone and just be like, I know where that's at.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, we're gonna talk about that price.
The cage.
We're gonna get to that. I like how you see the lighting of the explosion and it's also reflective right here.
Yeah,
It is so well done.
You see the physics as well. You see the explosions going all over.
And then you look at the background and just like you're probably heading towards the beach. They're probably on the highway, and I was like, bro, I know where this is at.
Oh,
like,
it's toward Miami Beach. That's that bridge.
yes.
Then wait, go back a frame or so. Like that's just a parody of the Dolphins jersey.
Exactly. The color. I was like, bro.
I'm like, they Florida out. Someone had to live there at one point. Then just normal Florida activities.
And then just right here.
Is that Miami Beach? Or
Yes, that is Miami Beach. Like
I'm trying to remember that area. I don't know if that's like.
it's Ocean Drive.
There we go. That's what got me. I feel less Floridian every time we talk about Miami. Because I hate that area so much. No offense to Miami peoples.
Like I'm trying to get in by frame. Like you see that construction building
Yeah.
right there? Like I was like, bro, I know where that's at.
Yeah, they put mad detail.
Bro, I was just geeking out, just stopping and just looking at this frame by frame and just I'm like, bro, this is literally Miami
has to be.
Simulator.
This is Miami Sim, like the real one. This is more for Vice City. But you know what's funny? Every like Florida area has like a big ass gun store and like these commercials as well for some parts.
Yeah.
That's what makes this funnier. I'm like, this is real.
There's also the makeshift PS5 console.
Yep.
You see the controller right there.
Yep.
Almost looks like a PS4 controller. If you like,
If you like zoom in, but you can't because it's a video, then you see the Modelo still.
yes. You see the bridge in the background.
Yeah. You see the painting with a little bit of gloss because of the lighting. The pelicans passing by. Everglades. That's one of those planes for going to swamps or just like water planes.
Oh. I like, hold on. Like right here, it's like, I know where that's at.
Yeah.
I know exactly where this is
This
at.
looks like when you're leaving Miami.
Yeah. I'm just like, bro, they're just so much.
Listen to Dan. I just hate driving to Miami. This game is going to prove why I hate driving to Miami. You will hold me, so that's an exception. I'll let it slide.
Of course, I know where that's at.
Yep.
The buildings in the background, just like, I know exactly where this is at. I was like, oh my goodness, like this game. I just hope for next year for everybody who has a console, because of course PC gamers, you guys are getting the short end of the stick. Like y'all probably gonna get it in 2027 or 2028.
The LARP mods are going to be real.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like we've waited so long for this game. You would think Rockstar would release this game on console and PC.
I think that's their apology, because you know what the ongoing meme was? It's like, hey, this is all happening before GTA 6. Like, there's memes where people are like, oh, yeah, we're going to stop gang violence before GTA 6 comes out. Or we're going to stop XYZ or do this. Or every time an action kicks in, like, a new pope was made before GTA 6.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Like,
it's been recurring for
I know.
months now.
They're going to be going on for another year, but that's okay.
Yeah, but with this game and everyone seeing the trailer, because this was just like randomly dropped, and I remember I was at work seeing this, and
Yeah, I was at work too.
I'm just like, no fucking way, no fucking way. Like, I need to go home because I was like, okay, I need to see this at a much better resolution and then just watch everything frame by frame and then just like absorb everything in and then just be like, I know where that's at. I know where that's at. I've been to this location spot before. I know where they got this from. So
like, you're going to see a lot more Floridians get into this than the outside world.
all I know is when this game does come out on the 26th of May, a lot of people are going to call out of work or skip school. It's going to happen.
Brother, it's a make or break game, but I think it's going to break the internet again.
You know, it definitely will. Like, I think a lot of people are not going to go to work on the day of Grand Theft Auto 6 dropping.
I think a week. People will take a vacation just to complete this game. And not even complete the game, but goon.
Because I remember, man, it's been so wild. It's been so long since when GTA 5 released, and I remember this was back in it was 2013. I was in Afghanistan when GTA 5 came out, and
I was in high school when this happened.
Like this, like we've been waiting a while, like over 10 years,
literally.
And then of course, you have GTA 5, which came literally towards the tail end of the PS3 life cycle, and then we had it for the PS4.
It lasted the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One and the Series X.
Yeah, and now we have it for the PS5, X Series, and of course PC or whatnot. So GTA 5 has just been keeping everyone entertained for the past 10 years. So much to the point where the game itself, just the GTA Online, it has made over $1 billion in revenue with
naturally
microtransactions.
Yeah.
$1 billion in microtransactions. Rockstar's the only one to have successfully done that feat.
Oh, they can get away with it.
Yeah.
With so many cars, features, exclusives.
Because a lot of people buy the shark cards.
Exactly.
Lots of people buy the shark cards.
Yeah.
And I already know with this game, it's gonna blow.
If it has
it's gonna blow GTA 5 out the water.
I can't wait for people to do a Florida simulator when we're in Florida.
I mean, it's there. We have it right here, GTA 6.
Exactly.
We literally have it. Like, if you're from like a lot of people from Miami that are gamers or even not gamers, they're gonna play this. They're gonna want to play this game. They're gonna want to grab a PS5 and boom, play the game.
That is true.
It's gonna happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation were to do a bundle with PS5 Pro with GTA 6 and we're selling it for this amount of price. It would sell quick because all of the casuals will definitely buy it up. Yeah. And as for the price, as Dan mentioned, some are saying it could be $100, which it's not out of the realm of possibility. But knowing GTA, knowing Rockstar, it would be very interesting to see if they were to release GTA 6 for $60. So that way it's affordable for many people to get because they know they're going to make a shit ton of money off of microtransactions if they also have GTA Online active day one when you get the game. So it's like, do we release the game at a higher price, which could turn some people off?
Yeah.
Or some people would wait for a sale, or make the game so affordable so that way people go out and grab the game in mass droves, and then you also tack in GTA Online active and available day one.
Holy shit.
Servers, I hope they have enough servers to handle that bandwidth because they're about to have like over 1 million players online.
Young
and if
men,
it's
women,
crossplay,
children.
oh man. And if it's crossplay,
You know the amount of slurs that are going to be said?
it's Grand Theft Auto.
You know how many more creative slurs are going to be?
Oh, very, very much so.
I cannot wait for people to have the most broken mics, the smoke alarms, all the Kodak Black music played,
It is definitely gonna happen.
all the stereotypes coming together. It's unity that nobody wanted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Oh yeah.
cannot wait.
It's a day one. It's a day
I
one.
have
game.
to hear people doing official and non-official Florida slang. Like if they say where you from and they say Broward County and they say what part, I better know which exact one you're saying and not from the game.
Now, of course, in the actual game, they're not gonna have like they'll have certain places with the actual name,
Oh yeah.
but other places are not gonna have like the official name.
Oh no.
So there's that part, but definitely,
You know, Floridians will say where they're from without even hesitating.
Oh yeah,
That's the funny part.
oh yeah. Let me go to hold on. Let me go to YouTube and check out Rockstar's YouTube.
Oh my.
Like how many views?
Yeah, Dan, those clips are gonna be funny. That's what I'm waiting for, or the TikTok brain rot. That and I gotta hear what music they're gonna use.
Yeah.
Because if it is not Florida artists, I will crash out respectfully.
5.3 million likes,
Ha.
74,000 dislikes,
Oh, okay.
and views 90 million views.
And-
Number one trending.
Holy mackerel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're back.
Oh yeah.
I love how they were in Ghost after a while, and we're just like, here's the official date this is coming back. We're sorry, but this is happening.
Yeah.
Then here's a trailer for compensation.
Yeah.
That's what they pretty much pulled as a quick marketing, like as in a, hey, just let us cook for some time without saying it.
Mhm.
And that's great. May need something like that just to let the people know that there's evidence that this is done.
Yeah.
I respect it. I can't get mad. They know the game too well. They've been in here too long. They've done too many Grand Theft Autos ranging from the PlayStation to the Game Boy Advance and all other niche stuff. Game is game.
Yeah.
They know how to play it well, even with Red Dead.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. Granted, we're gonna have to wait a year, but that does give a sigh of relief for other gaming companies that were pondering whether
were
or not
ready to
should they
change
release their
prices.
game for the holiday season, because a lot of game companies were like thinking about maybe we delay the game till like next year or whatnot, so that way we do not conflict with Grand Theft Auto, because if you try to release your game around Grand Theft Auto,
It's not going to make it.
it's dead on arrival. You're not gonna make it.
You know what's the funny thing, brother? Nintendo ain't going to change no matter what.
No.
They're not going to budge when Grand Theft Auto kicks in. They're going to probably see if they can make it a Switch port.
I'm glad there is no Switch 2 port.
I'm joking.
It's not available on a PS4, so hey, if you still got a PS4, I would say
Sell
keep
it.
it. No.
I'm joking.
I mean, granted, you can play your PS4 games on the PS5.
But still, you need the PS4 to play like other games you've downloaded anyways.
Yeah. So you have that. So I would say try to get a PS5. Look for places like pawn shops. Make sure it's like in good working condition. No
Facebook
problem.
Marketplace too.
Yeah, that too.
Or offer up.
When even if you get a used one, I highly recommend just unscrewing. Taking off the plates. Dust out the fan. Dust out the fan. I highly recommend it, so that way you have no problems or issues. Make sure the CD drive works, or if you feel like you don't want to take a risk with a used
Just
console.
go get a local nerd or something.
Yeah, just buy it brand new if you want to or whatnot. But definitely with the console, I would say with the first generation models, you should find them a lot cheaper, like around the $300 to $250 range.
Yeah.
So you should, you would be able to afford a PS5, because what we've seen in the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer is that the entire gameplay, everything that we saw,
Is all maps like.
it's all on base PS5.
Yeah. I feel like it's on one of those. It is going to probably be a 100 gig game, is what I'm predicting.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's acceptable compared to Call of Duty.
That's another thing. How many gigs is
I'm.
this game going to be?
Should we do like a Deadpool to see how many? Because I'm going to say 100 to 125.
I'm going to say 200 gig.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 200.
Okay.
because
Let's not
that
forget
because
DLC
that
too.
because the entire trailer looks amazing. Like you look at other games. Granted, I'm not trying to shit on any other games or any other developers that spent their years and time making their game or whatnot, because I will say that there are some really good looking games out there.
Yeah.
But when we saw what we saw with the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, it's just like,
It's a masterpiece.
whoa.
It actually looks like a cinematic masterpiece.
Like,
And we're not glazing this.
yeah. Because if anything, I'm saying, like, this is what next gen should be looking like.
This is what a AAA game should look like,
Yeah.
is what I would say.
So with the price that they're going to set, that's going to be the thing that's going to set everybody else apart. Because, as I said before,
This will break standards.
yeah, if they decide to sell it cheap, so that because they're going to make their money back off of microtransactions.
No matter what.
They've already made $1 billion off of GTA Online with GTA 5,
And they're still making money.
and they're still making money. So with GTA 6, they could be like, you know what, we're going to sell it for cheap. The online's going to be available. It's crossplay,
Money.
and the money just comes pouring in.
100% money. This will make or break the standards of gaming, and that's what we're looking forward to seeing.
Definitely.
DLC, content, people doing their own content creations, role playing. Like, there's a lot of things, people doing gameplays. Like, anyone could become a streamer with this game if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They just had to actually do the steps.
Yeah. Now, I know with the whole roleplay community, that's exclusively on PC, so you're not going to be able to.
Oh, no, you're lucked out.
Yeah. And as I said, PC gamers, y'all got the short end of the stick, so y'all going to be waiting at least a year or two until you guys get into
That, or you're just going to join lobbies and just start screaming. That's what it looks like is going to happen for most people.
I would say, like, because for those who do game on PC, if they really want to game on GTA 6 and they want to wait, they're going to have to get a console.
Yep.
They're going to have to.
100%.
So that's just my thoughts on that. And with that, we can get to the final topic of tonight. As I said, short stream tonight.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
So, and this is coming from Battlefield. Battlefield Labs development update May 2025. In February, we announced Battlefield Labs as our most ambitious community collaboration in franchise history to validate the future of Battlefield. Today, we'll update you on our initial learnings and how we'll continue to scale testing into the future. So, across our 4 initial play sessions with a small group of core Battlefield players across Europe and North America, we've completed thousands of hours of gameplay and had hundreds of thousands of players spawns and seen over 1 million environmental objects destroyed, including walls, windows, crates, buildings your squad crashed the helicopter into. The player in these sessions have helped us successfully validate the following areas. Establish a solid foundation for smooth, low latency, and high performance gunplay. So, to explain that, is for those who have played many Battlefield games, if you know the term rubber banding, to where you could be running and then for a second or two, the game will glitch and you'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like trying to run for it again, and then it'll glitch and back. Like you're trying to get to where you're trying to get to, but it just keeps.
It's a lot of lag and delay and such.
Yeah, so it was very prominent in Battlefield 3, especially when it came out. Very prominent in Battlefield 4, and of course, I think this is more of a it's more of a Frostbite engine ordeal, because Battlefield uses the Frostbite engine, so we're always going to run into this issue until eventually they have that fixed. But definitely in the PlayStations, that is something that they're going to mainly focusing on, so that way it's smooth for a lot of people. So that way when you're running to point A to point B or point C or whatnot, it's a smooth transition.
Okay.
And it does not drag you back.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
And as for the gunplay, yeah, when it comes to Battlefield, gunplay is very crucial, because you have the infantry on infantry combat, and then of course you also have the infantry to vehicle combat, vehicle to vehicle combat, vehicle to air vehicle combat, and vice versa. Like you have all this combat, all this action going on. So for us Battlefield fans who have been playing the game for many years, played many multiple titles, gunplay is very important because that's going to be the core thing you're going to do. Most people you would think is going to just camp in a tank or even take a helicopter. Most of the time you're going to be fighting on the ground, gunning, running and gunning. So for them to put this out and be like, hey, they're gonna make sure that they establish a solid foundation for, low latency and high performance gunplay is a good step in going forward because that's gonna be the most important thing when you finally do play Battlefield when it actually launches and comes out. The next one is finding the right balance in movement speed for functionality such as crouch sprint, combat rolling, and vaulting as part of our combat pacing initiatives. That is also very important as well. Another one, using destruction to create fun and lasting tactical gameplays across rounds and experiences because the destruction can definitely change the way how you strategize your playstyle when you're playing Battlefield. And you want to make sure, like, if I shoot a rocket at this building, there should be a hole in it. Or let's just say there's a tank coming around the corner and you need to make a quick exit. There's no open window, so what you're going to do? Blow a hole in the window and then just get the hell out of Dodge. Or destroy a building where there's like an enemy team camped so that way the building collapses and it kills everybody inside.
Oh, so there's a lot of options.
Yeah. And the destruction definitely plays a very crucial role. Also, like vehicle, like if I shoot down a helicopter with like a rocket or whatnot, with an unguided rocket, shoot it down, will the helicopter crash in a way where it lands in a building and it probably kills somebody in there?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a lot to think about.
Yeah. So
it could be complete crossfire.
For them to focus on destruction because past Battlefield games we've been seeing, like it's been there. I would say like Battlefield 1, it was there, but not a lot. Battlefield 5, there, but not a lot. 2042, you barely see it.
Wow.
Depending on what map you're on. But if you played like some of the older titles like Battlefield Bad Company 2, it was
everywhere.
It was everywhere.
I've seen a gameplay of it.
And so many people loved it. Same thing with Battlefield 3. A lot of people love Battlefield 3 because of destruction and the gunplay, like everything about it. And destruction is very key and crucial when it comes to Battlefield because you want to make sure that however your playstyle is, if you want to go to a more destructive route, you have those options. And then, of course, it can change in your favor or it can also be used against you. So what's next? Now that we've wrapped up initial server performance and stability concerns, we validated a solid foundation for a core Battlefield experience. We're now ready to continue scaling Battlefield Labs testing globally. Throughout May, we'll be inviting more players across Europe and North America, and we'll start to include select areas of Asia. Alongside testing new content, we'll continue to iterate our initial focus areas, such as balancing the different weapon archetypes and damage values, as well as movement and combat pacing mechanics. Destruction also remains an ongoing topic across our play sessions. We'll continue to test destructible objects across a variety of maps and fine-tune damage levels of services. So that's about it. So for those that, I would say if you did sign up for the Battlefield Labs, I mean, you could still sign up for it right now and then be a part of the session. I know that I can't speak on it publicly, but I am a part of Battlefield Labs, and I have been in these play sessions. And I signed an NDA, so I can't speak on my experience in the Battlefield Labs and whatnot. But I will say that when you see articles like this and you see me like repost them or whatnot, take it as legit. Like, this is legit. Ooh. Like, I can't speak more of it, but this is legit.
Like, this is something you don't take with a grain of salt. You take it seriously.
Yeah, take it seriously.
Okay.
Usually, some people would be like, I don't know. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. And listen, everybody, you have a right to be skeptical because a lot of us Battlefield fans, we have gotten screwed. Like, 2042, screwed us. Screwed us so bad. So I understand that. I understand that frustration that, you know, many Battlefield fans have, and now we're very skeptical with this one. But I will say I do appreciate the fact that they are taking the time to make sure that they iron out these issues before the game releases. And now that we know that GTA 6 is not releasing this year, we could potentially have a new Battlefield game coming this year if they can have these issues ironed out, so that way it provides a great, solid playing experience for everyone playing the game. Because this map that you see in the background, it's beautiful.
It does look nice. Damn.
And I have played on this map. That is as far as I'm gonna take it. That's as far as I'm gonna say.
Real.
Yeah.
That's good. You're following rules properly before in case they look at this podcast later.
Because I cannot wait until the NDA is lifted, and I could talk so much about it, and then of course I could show so much of what I've been playing and whatnot, because man, I'm loving what I'm seeing. The game definitely needs a lot of TLC, so it's gonna take some time, but with what you see in the article that I posted or whatnot, this is legit. These are the actual things of concern, and it's only a matter of time until there's an open beta for people to play, and I think that open beta will be more so a test to test out the servers, like to stress test the servers to make sure that do people, how many people we can take. And I know people have like their different concerns. Is there going to be X, Y, and Z? Is there going to be a server browser when the game comes out? Because I know a lot of people don't like the matchmaking thing that Battlefield does, to where you have to matchmake, you get into a match, you play a match, and then once the match is done and over, you're kicked right back out, and now you have to wait for another match to get into it, whatnot. People want to be in a server browser to where they can it just keeps going and going and going.
Keep going right away.
Like you have your rotation of maps that you're gonna go to, the same teams, going through and whatnot. Some teams may be swapped, on this side and the other side, or enemy side, friendly side, or whatnot. That's gonna happen. So yes, I hope that we do have a server browser, because that is important. It's been in every Battlefield game. That should stay permanent. That's for one. Another thing I would love to see, of course, I do want to see what the campaign is going to look like, because they are going to have a single player campaign for Battlefield, and I think I did hear it might be co-op. Maybe not. We'll see. But that's the second thing I would like to see with the next Battlefield, and then the other is naval combat.
Combat?
Naval, meaning
I know what you mean. I'm just shocked
because Battlefield 4 had naval combat.
Oh,
and
that makes
it was
sense.
Perfect. It was perfect. And then Battlefield Hardline, that was filler. Then you had Battlefield 1. You didn't have so much of the naval combat,
but it was featured.
But it wasn't as good as 4.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Battlefield 5.
I get what you mean.
They had it, but it was not as good as 4. And then Battlefield 2042, no naval combat. I'm just like, oh, you guys completely dropped the ball with this game, which is why a lot of people ended up playing, instead of playing 2042, they went back to playing Battlefield 4.
They played everything else but Battlefield 2042.
Yeah. Now, of course, Battlefield 2042 is in a much more playable state. They did fix the game to where all the independent classes are in like their own classes. Like you have your assault, your engineer, your support, your recon.
They became more stricter.
Yeah, but because they wanted to fit it right back to where traditional Battlefield, the traditional class system, to where it's like you have 4 classes: assault, engineer, support, recon. That's all you need. Like, keep it that way.
No need to redo the wheel.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But they finally change it to that, and I sometimes I relatively play 2042, but not so often. But I would say now that I have got a taste of the labs, I'm not reinstalling 42 ever again.
Damn.
I'm not, because it's just like
You're waiting for something that doesn't have to be shown.
Yes, and I know that those of us who grew up playing Battlefield since Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2, then Battlefield 3, I would say primarily the ones that love Battlefield, that came into Battlefield in either 3 or 4, you're going to love this one when it's completely fixed.
Ooh,
You're
okay.
going to love it because you're going to feel right at home. That's all I can say.
All right.
I can't, there's so much I want to say, but it's like,
Don't
I
worry.
can't.
It comes in a later episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So definitely keep an eye out on the Battlefield Labs update. There, as I said, they are working on it. There are play sessions. If you do want to be a part of it, check your emails. Find a way to get into it. There should be a link on how you can. Yeah, it says it right here. If you're excited to help us validate the future of Battlefield, then you can still sign up now. So yeah, you can click this link. Link open. You can connect your account, and then you be a part of the Battlefield Labs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, and I would say the best part is not only like they'll even invite you to play at a studio.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, and I got invited to play at a studio in Orlando, but that's a drive that I can't make. So I'm just like, I'll take the console version. You can also play it on PC as well. So they'll give like whatever platform you play it on, they will give you a code. If you want to go and play in person, and if the location is close to you, then by all means, pull up.
That does sound tempting.
Oh yeah, still open to everybody. So that's as much as I can say.
Yeah. Anything else you got in mind, brother?
I think that's about it, man. I can't speak much on this subject topic as much as I would love to, because when it comes to Battlefield, I am very passionate. I'm very passionate of this series because, as I've told you, and I've said it on social media, that once this game drops, I'm done with fighting games. Like, I'm done. Like, I'll still run tournaments here at Flynn's.
No, you're just done.
But don't be like, oh, have you played this? No.
Nope.
No, I have not played. Like,
Let Waluigi play it.
like, you look at my PS5, you'll see how many hours I done logged into Battlefield. Like, yeah, I'm on Battlefield for the next, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. Like, I'm trying to rank up all my weapons, unlock everything on all my
you're
weapons.
going that route.
I'm gonna unlock everything in my vehicles. Try to unlock as many camos as I want. Try to win and be the best squad in most of my play sessions. Test out every weapon. Yeah. Like,
Macro, you menace.
I am like that dedicated to Battlefield. Looking at the YouTube chat, I didn't get into GTA later into my adulthood.
And that should have been enough.
Should've made that footnote during.
That's okay.
It's all good, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. Sonic Crossing Worlds. That's good. Racing Cross Worlds.
Yeah,
I haven't heard.
I've seen a gameplay of that, and I think we're just waiting on more information on when that game is coming out.
Okay.
Because they showed a trailer of the game, they showed gameplay, and I think that's about it. And I think everyone's just now like, all right, wait and see. So
Yeah, this is like, hey, Mario Kart's still a thing. Don't forget that existed.
yeah,
Well, we'll see how things play out. I'm looking forward to more trailers popping up.
yeah. So we're now approaching summer season. So
Yeah.
games coming out, big ones are Doom: The Dark Ages, and of course Elden Ring, Night Reign. So
Yeah. So we
There-
might both like review a game specifically to make it a little bit saucier.
I highly doubt I'll do game reviews because I no longer have the time to sit down and play the game because
Yeah, you're right.
I'd be busy, bro.
I'd be competing on stuff for everything. But blessed, I got a Steam Deck now.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna play at my lunch break hiding.
So with that being said, Waluigi, any closing thoughts?
Besides congrats to Clair Obscur Expedition 33 for having 5 million copies. That's great. Looking forward to seeing more, seeing what the game's gonna have, and development of Sandfall. Ubisoft, get your shit together. Rockstar. Looking forward to how it goes. But other than that, nothing really too crazy. Looking forward for Doom, Gears of War E-Day. Then I'm looking for that Sonic racing game as well. Then how Nintendo's going to take action with their pricing and everything else still.
Yeah.
If they're going to stay solid.
Yeah, because the Switch 2 does come out next month.
Or it's going to be like sheer concern.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not grabbing one. I'm good.
Yeah.
But those who got one, y'all can have it. What about you?
As for me, I most likely am going to pick up both those games, Elden Ring, Night Rain, and Doom. Maybe Doom on a later date because Elden Ring, Night Rain is $40.
Oh, is it $40?
Yeah, it's $40. So, but the thing is, it literally comes out 2 weeks before CEO, and I need to grind.
You need to actually play games.
Yeah, I need to grind Grand Blue to be prepared for that. And then once CEO's done, it's just like, all right, I'm back to playing my other games and whatnot. I won't be playing fighting games for a while.
Me too.
I have other shit I got to play now.
I'll be back as a TCG player.
I have a whole backlog of games I got to get through now. And on top of that, there's also new games dropping. There's Doom. There's Elden Ring, Night Ring. There's Wu Chang. I'm getting that as well. There's Lost Solo Side. That got delayed to August, but I'm also getting that. I still got to get that Altair game, Yuma. I still got to get that game. I also still got to get the first Berserker Kazan. I got to get that as well. Yeah, there's a lot of games that's on my radar that's like I got to get. And then, of course, there's also games that I got to finish playing. Like, I still have to finish playing Metaphor, Refantasia. I still got to finish playing that. Still currently playing Monster Hunter World Wilds. Trying to get my Monster Hunter rank up to at least 75. That way I can just be like, all right, I'm going to chill until an event happens. And if an event happens, I'll play Monster Hunter again. And, so on and so forth. And then, of course, Lies of P is also having...
They're having DLC?
Yes.
Get the
coming
hell
out this year. So it's just like...
Lies of P just... Wow.
Yeah, so now I got to buy Lies of P and get the DLC. I'm going to get both at the same time.
I've heard good things about the game.
Yeah.
With 2 different endings.
So, yeah. So it's just like, bro, there's a lot of good games coming out this year. Games that have already came out, but it's just I have not got them yet. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy summer. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are a gaming podcast. We should be gaming more, or at least playing more games to explore.
And I also recommend everyone doing the same as well. Like, play more games. Open up your
kitchen cabinet full of spices and seasonings with your gamings instead of staying stale.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the best way I could say it.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly accurate. Just open up your horizons. Try different games.
Wow, I thought I was talking about Horizon. I said spice cabinet like it's seasonings. I'm not ashamed of that. Anyways. Oh my god. This is what I get for being a fighting game player. And also saying this joke.
Oh yeah. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in. Where's that button?
That music is such a vibe every time.
So yeah, we're gonna sign on off and call it a night. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching. As I said, this is just gonna be a short stream. A few gaming topics that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, we're glad to be back.
And upcoming episodes. There is no episode this Sunday because that is Mother's Day.
Yes.
So no episodes on Sundays, especially on a holiday like that. So go out and go celebrate.
Celebrate your mother, the parent that gave you that motherly figure. Just love your family.
Yep. And we'll be back next week Thursday with more gaming topics and whatnot. Whatever happening in the gaming world. So you never know what could happen.
Yeah. Send us something.
Anything can happen within the gaming industry. So we'll be there to give you guys our thoughts on it. And yeah. This has been episode 130 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. We are signing out.
Peace.